Colombia y la JCI Bogotá reconocen y exaltan los méritos de jóvenes que se destacan por su liderazgo y obras que sirven de ejemplo no solo en
The JCI of Bogota and the JCI of Colombia want to recognize and praise the young leaders that do projects that serve as an example not only for the people of Colombia, but for all humanity. We're going to start by recognizing 10 extraordinary young people from 2010, 8 men and 2 women. Kenji Orito Diaz, recognized for his humanitarian and voluntary service. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenji.
My father is from a city called Niigata. It's a small city in Japan, but well known for its rice production. I speak Spanish because my mother is from Tolima. For that reason, I have rice on both sides. I was born, destined to eat rice. I had the privilege of being born in Colombia. When I was 10, I traveled to Japan. And there I studied until I was 24 and got married. My first child was born. His name Elkin David, who is now 8. And my second child was born in Colombia, Karen Daniel, who is now 3. Being in Japan, I discovered some great things about Colombia. I want to be brief because it's an honor to be here, representing my fellow award winners, and I hope to do them justice. I discovered, living in Japan, that Colombia isn't a poor country. People always ask me if I work in Ciudad Bolivar. No, I tell them. So do you visit Ciudad Bolivar? They say. No, I say. I live in Ciudad Bolivar. You live in Ciudad Bolivar? Well, actually, no. But I belong in Ciudad Bolivar. I am from Ciudad Bolivar. Oh no, that's too bad, they say. Why? It's a tough place, right? And the other person not knowing says, because it's a very poor place. Ciudad Bolivar? A poor place, I say? No, it's the part of Colombia where Bavaria, the beer company, makes their best profits. In our institution, we have 50 kids. I would like to tell you that they are hungry, that we need some help. But our children are able to eat breakfast twice or even 3 times because of local soup kitchens. In December, I know that they receive more gifts than my children. In December, there was a fire in Estrella, near Paraíso, our building. From their adobe houses, the people retrieved their plasma TVs. Some might say that the kids are malnourished, but I represent 10 friends of mine who were all malnourished because all we did was eat chips and junk food, not because we lacked food. I don't believe that Colombia is poor. What I see is the mentality of poverty. Would somebody tell me, what is the richness of Japan? The owners of Suzuki, Yamaha, Toyota, Mitsubishi, Toshiba, Daihatsu, etc.? Oh, I get it. Japan has gold. Oh, wait a minute. No, it doesn't. Japan has oil, right? Oh, wait. No, it doesn't. Now let's talk seriously. Japan is the second largest exporter of flowers in the world. Oh, wait. That's a different country. Okay, enough jokes. Japan has the most beautiful emeralds in the world. No, that's a different country. Ah, I know. Japan has the most delicious coffee in the world. Have you seen Tutanaka Valdez? Oh wait, I mean Juan Valdez. Would someone explain to me what Japan has? I know it's a big island. It's 5 times smaller than Colombia, and Colombia has less people, and they are well distributed. There are 130 million people that live on a small island, without gold, without emeralds, without oil, without coffee, without anything. And yet, they have the second strongest economy in the world. So how do they do it? It's a poor country, that's the truth. But they discovered something after the war, but it wasn't necessary to fight to discover it. If we judge the greatest resource that a country has, it's not the gold, nor the oil, nor the emeralds, nor the coffee, nor the flowers, but rather the people. From them comes the success and the progress. Asian Colombia. Japan is a poor country that lives as a rich country. Colombia, on the other hand, is a rich country whose bad habits cause it to live as a poor country. One time when I got to my institution, there was a girl with a hole in her shirt and another on the knee of her pants. Her shoes were in poor condition. It seemed like she had experienced a tragedy in her life. I went to her house to see in what condition she was living. I arrived to Simon Bolivar and discovered the truth. Her parents found out that a foreigner from Japan had arrived, and they made holes in her shirt, and in her pants, and in her shoes, and made sure she had snot in her nose in order to inspire pity, so that she would get money. What can we do in a country in which they teach us that we are poor? So repeat after me. We are poor. We are in bad shape. Your president is no good. Which president? It doesn't matter. All of them are good for nothing, because we are Colombians. I discovered in Japan that Colombia is a rich country. My grandfather, my cousins, and everybody else applauded the watermelons in August in Japan. They covered their eyes, put the watermelons on the beach, and hit them like piñatas, and when they broke open, everyone jumped to get a piece of watermelon, and everyone shouted when they saw a watermelon in August, because it cost 160,000 pesos, and you can only eat them in August in Japan. I laughed at them without them realizing it, because I lived in Ciudad Bolivar, in the neighborhood of San Francisco. There's a truck full of watermelons, this big, that costs 5,000 pesos. If one is shameless enough, they can barter the price down even lower because there are so many watermelons, they don't fit on the truck. One time the seller told me they cost 5,000, and I told him I only have 3,000. Okay, said the seller. Give one watermelon to that Chinese man, he said. Sorry, man, I'm not Chinese, I'm Japanese. Ah, it's all the same. What's the difference, he said. So I went to my house with a big watermelon that only cost 3,000 pesos. The sad thing is that my children don't jump and shout when they see a watermelon. They complain, "Watermelon again?" Because I do live in a rich country. If someone doubts what I'm saying, they should go to Carabastos, a market in Bogota. Once, while giving a lecture in Monteria, a person told me, "I'm not going to take you to my farm after this lecture." "Why?" I asked. "Because you would have to step on the mangoes." "Why?" "Because there are a lot of them," he said. "Why don't you pick them up?" I asked. "Because it's absurd. Everyone has mangoes. We gave them to the pigs. The pigs got tired of eating mangoes. Now the floor is completely covered in mangoes." I do live in a rich country. It's called Colombia, but we suffer from a mental poverty. We believe that we are poor. We think that we don't have anything. This lifestyle is perpetuated by the donations and pity that we receive from begging. Young Japanese don't come to Ciudad Bolivar to see poverty, but rather to see richness. The second thing that I discovered in Japan about Colombia is that it's not a violent country. Yes, we do suffer from some violence. We have had some violent episodes in our history, but Colombia is not violent. We believe that story, that we are violent, but it's not the truth. Growing up in Japan, my father never gave me a hug because my grandfather never gave him a hug. In Japan, they don't hug. Couples don't give each other hugs and kisses. They also don't use the phrase, "I love you" or "I care for you." Can you figure out why, in a country like Japan that is so rich, there are 32,000 suicides every year? I was saved because my parents sent me to Colombia on vacation. And here in Colombia, we hug even our neighbors. And if it is December and he is drunk for some reason, he takes my head close to his and he says, "I love you, Chinese, I love you." I learned to tell him, "Yes, I love you too, my neighbor, but please let me go." It's amazing how much Colombians love one another, hug one another, and smile. One leaves Colombia renewed, full of force, full of vigor, ready to face the crisis of living in a first world country like Japan, where there is a lack of hugs. For that reason, every Japanese person that visits Colombia, like JCI says, the risk is that they want to stay. It's not the flowers, its oil, or its landscape. Those characteristics are a factor, but the greatest treasure that this country has is the people. I've tried Colombian coffee in more than 14 countries, and I didn't like it. You have to drink it in Ciudad Bolivar, with exposed adobe bricks and unpainted walls, where one sits on the ancient blanket of the bed of the senora that sold you the coffee, because there is no other furniture, and the apartment is one big room. But for some reason, she gives you an enormous coffee cup. Look how the cup is missing part of its handle. But it's not merely a shot of coffee, but a full cup. She hands it to me with such love that in any other country, it just doesn't taste the same. A mouse runs by, and then a cat, and then a dog, and it seems as though they all love each other. I've eaten in many places, exotic foods, but I was always missing the tajadas that my grandmother makes. Excuse me if I am overly sensitive. There might be something more beautiful than to say to my grandmother, "Grandma, pass me the whole pot and cover. I want to eat it straight from the pot. Watching TV, eating leftover beans? I don't know. There are a lot of things from Colombia and other countries, but nothing tastes the same as it does when it's in Colombia, because of the people, the love, and the care." For me, when I am abroad and I invite Colombians over to my house, the first thing I ask them is how the motherland is. "Bad. For that reason I've come," they say. "Well, did you bring something? A coffee delight? A bon bon boom candy? A guayaba sweet? I'll buy them from you," I say. "How is Colombia?" I ask. "Bad, bad. When is it ever going to be good?" they say. "But there in Colombia, we grew up and got fat," I say. "Colombia is good. Foreigners don't know it. For that reason, they come to invest. The most important thing is that Colombians never discover that they are in one of the richest countries in the world."
El tercero y último que descubrí de Colombia es que es un país lleno de héroes. Por eso, como vocero de
My third point is that it's a country full of heroes. My fellow award winners and I represent cities where we see people who aren't extraordinary like us, but they are heroes. Like Miss Estela, who sells little plants in Ciudad Boulevard. By selling plants, she supports 3 kids, and she built a house just by selling her plants. Miss Estela isn't extraordinary, but she is a hero. Another person, Ignacio, feeds 70 old people every day, and he doesn't even earn the minimum salary. He does it with passion. He's a professional chef, but he decided to give back to the community and feed old people. Recently, I met a mother who for 16 years has been taking care of her special needs child. The incredible thing about her, she is blind. She says, "I have been his eyes, even though I am blind." Every day, I have seen people like this. I feel very humbled to receive this award, but I do it in their name. And I know that my fellow award winners feel the same. We are here to thank the community of heroes that exists in the country we call Colombia. Finally, I like and believe in JCI. For that reason, I feel even more honored to be able to be here and be a part of this. We believe that faith in God gives meaning and direction in life. Thank you so much.